V-103, ATL's #1 for hip-hop, R&B, and throwbacks. Another Odyssey exclusive with CICI.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, this is where it all started.
All began.
Well, downstairs.
Yeah, downstairs. And the true fun fact for me is that when I was going to the drive-thru, the first day that Goodies was played on the radio, it was V-103.
That's what it started right here.
Yep. So that
you came
was
in and did the drop.
Yep. And then I hopped in the car. I not hopped in the car, but I was going for rehearsals, and then I hear you with your loud energy, amazing energy, was Greg, and then play Goodies, and I literally had tears in my eyes.
Wow, it's so crazy for artists, for local artists, no matter how big they are, how big they become, people don't understand how real it feels and how special it is to hear their songs on the radio, especially on the station. Like, you got Lil Baby on the album, and he was one of the first person who really made it real relevant to my attention of how big it is, like, to hear their song on the radio in the city where they grew up.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy because that's like one of the big parts of your dream that you look forward to, because you know how much radio, for me, radio, meant a lot, especially then. Radio was like the main force, the main place that you heard music come from. So to have that same, experience, but from flipping the role, now I'm an artist playing on the radio and there's someone else hearing my song. But for me to hear myself on the radio is like, oh my gosh, like, Daddy, I made it.
We made it.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
And to go from North Clayton to Riverdale.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because it's actually reverse. So I started in Riverdale, then I went to North Clayton, and then I went back to Riverdale.
Back to Riverdale.
But my mom, I got to shout out my mom because she's in the room, because I was saying earlier how, it's kind of amazing how, like, God works, because my first year of high school at Riverdale, I had made the varsity team, right? And I was the only ninth grade on varsity. I think it was ninth grade. Was it ninth grade, Mom? Yeah, ninth grade. I had mixed the year up earlier, but ninth grade, I was only, ninth grade on varsity. And then the next year I went to audition again. And when I went to audition, I just felt like it was a whole season. It was a whole moment of pettiness from the coach to some other people on the team. I don't know what was going on, but they put me in, when they were announcing the, who made it, they put me in JV. And I was like, that's just crazy. Like, you took me from varsity back to JV. It just felt like something was going on. And so me and my super only child, super determined attitude, I was like, or mindset, I was like, Mom, like, I had seen the North Clayton cheerleaders, right? And the North Clayton team and everything, and the energy was lit at North Clayton. I was like, I want to cheer there, right? So then I told my mom about my dream, or my vision that I wanted at that time. And, I was saying, we lived in Riverdale. We always lived in Riverdale, but for that year, we lived in Clayco. We lived in Clayton County, but basically she helped work it out. So I got to end up going to North Clayton High School because I was so determined. Like, I was like, this is crazy. And I was like, this school is popping. Like, I want to go to this school. And the craziest part of it is that in that year, that was the year I got discovered.
Wow.
And then, so it's just kind of like, that was like all of God's like working, because I went there to have a special moment in my life that was game-changing. That's how I see it. That year was meant for me to do that. And then I ended up going back to Riverdale. Like, once everything started rolling, I finished out my high school years in Riverdale, but it's kind of crazy how that works.
Now, every time I see you, every time there's something on social media, my phone blows up. Mrs. Rice, all the principals at Riverdale, the principals at North Clayton, you gotta bring CICI back. I can show you texts from yesterday.
Oh my God.
Time I posted this at DBS,
yes.
Mrs. Rice, who was the principal, I think when you were there, she was probably the principal at the middle school. Then she went to the high school, and now she's over like a cluster of schools in Clayton County.
Wow, that's
so
amazing.
Every time there's a CICI Greg Street moment, you cause issues on my phone.
Listen, what you're telling me is that Greg stays connected. He even got a teacher's on lock in his Rolodex.
Man, they go crazy.
I love that. Man, listen, I remember going back to Riverdale the year, I think that had given me the key to the city or something like that, and doing a whole ceremony there. And that was like after my first or second year from my first album, putting out my first album. And those moments are so sweet, because it really is, it's just special. Like, it's a city that I grew up in at one point in time, and to feel all that love is another special sign of like, okay, we're doing something special.
Now, this all from the beginning, from Falana and Noonie and Jazzy and Jasper and Zach and Lil Jon, and then being in the studio with you when you did the big record with Polos, like, just to watch all this being brewed and all this come together, it's like, just how amazing was this for you?
That was really cool, because there's nothing better than when you have, such a strong army of support, but also, too, at that time period, a lot of the guys you mentioned were like super dialed in and tapped into the community and to the city of Atlanta, and to have everyone lifting me up was pretty cool. And just musically, Jazzy and I made some really special music,
Very
and
special.
that was the best way to kick off my career. It didn't get any better than that, And then you mentioned Polo. We had a big moment too, because when we put out Promise, we went against the grain with that record, because we were told it was like one of the worst R&B records, right? And we knew we had something special. So I really got to give it to Polo for like pressing the button to leak the record.
Yeah, his drums are so different. And
so different.
We leaked it. Here's another Greg Street.
Yep, it was.
So people got in trouble.
Yeah, but that was good trouble, because that was also a significant moment for me. And I went slower musically, because a lot of my songs are more tempo. And I was CICI was kind of growing up a little bit then. I was wearing heels in a video and trying new stuff. And the cool thing was that that week I released my album, from The Evolution, we had a big week. It was like Eminem, Gwen Stefani. There was a few other big releases that week, and we came in #1. So like, that's pretty cool, right? We took a risk and we believed in what we were doing, and it worked. So many special moments with all the people that you named, so much love. And those years were really formative for me, because it was like the people I was surrounded by, they were all like big brothers and big sisters. You mentioned Falana. She's actually going to probably hang out with me at some point today. But
yeah, she wanted to come. She had a meeting at 12, so she couldn't.
Yeah,
she's going to catch you on the next one.
Yeah. So, she also helped with, making a very special moment for me when I was here on tour with Missy and Busta and Timbaland last year. And they gave me the key to, they made the July 28th Ciara Day, and that was granted by the city. And then just recently when I came back, on Ciara Day, a year later, I was able to launch our Why Not Youth Center that Russell and I put together with the Boys and Girls Club in Atlanta. And, she helped make a special moment with not only the city, but also the state. And so you just think about like the evolution of all of us. And it's just beautiful to see everyone grow and still come together.
And congratulations that's the second center, right?
What's that one?
The center in Atlanta is #2, right?
Yeah, that's the second center. So yeah, that is a second center. The first center we did was in Pittsburgh, and this is our second one. And now we're working on 3 of them in the tri-state area of New York. So it's exciting. We're just getting started, but it's such a blessing to create, spaces for kids to dream and to express themselves, because I didn't have much growing up, but having a space to create and express myself and just being able to have that love and support was huge for me.
Miss Jackie was enough.
Yeah, my mama. My mama and my daddy, Jackie and Carlton. Honestly, the love my parents gave me was so huge, because my mom was more reluctant about the music industry, more hesitant, like, that place. She's seen enough of those VH1 stories where they say, what happened,
Everybody on drugs.
Everybody just doing everything.
This is
happens.
your brain on drugs.
They take all your money, do all kind of stuff. A lot happens on them VH1 stories. They're very, very dramatic. So my mama, she was like, that industry just sounds scary, But still, she did allow me to dream, and my dad also allowed me to dream and would have late nights driving to the studio, sleeping on the sofa while I'm recording. That support was huge, and that was one of the greatest gifts my parents could have given me.
And I'm sure probably one of your greatest gifts to the parents is you being able to give them anything they want.
I guess so.
How's the day in the life, you think, with mom and the grandkids?
My mom and the baby, she loves the grandbabies, right? Yeah, she loves the babies. It's so cute because she don't like being called grandma. This is this new, generation of grandmas. Y'all don't like being called grandma.
What do they call her?
Oh, she said, she don't care anymore. Okay, well, there it is.
There
okay,
it
because at
is.
first it was Grammy. They did call me Grammy. Hey, Grammy.
They got the Grammys and the GGs.
Yeah, but they love grandma. They love her and great grandma and grandpa. It's so sweet. I feel like the grandparents just give the kids anything. You leave your kids with the grandparents, I don't know. They might come back full of sugar.
Full of everything.
Jumping off the walls.
The new album. But this is what, album 6?
8.
8. Album 8, the new album, CICI. Great body of work. You've been having some great viral moments in the music space. Like, I know the song with, I think Tehran was a part of, Level Up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was a part of that. And now the new single that's went viral in the last months, where it's even crossed over. Everybody's doing it. Now, who was the first person to get on top of something with the heels on?
Well, okay, so first of all, let me tell you. So going back, shout out to Tehran because he and I did a great bit of this project together, and he joined me as an executive producer. But also to Level Up, we both wrote that song together, and we've been fortunate to have songs like I'm Out featuring Nicki Minaj, one of my earlier albums, also I Bet. We've had a lot of great moments. And then, sorry, I keep having my mommy brain moments. Hold on, what did you just say to me, Greg? Lordy. Okay, yeah, so Ecstasy, there it is. So with Ecstasy, that song, people going on the chair, was really crazy. Seeing everyone, like grandmas was on a chair after they saw the video, which is crazy. But I knew that when I saw the choreography from this young girl named Taylor, and she was showing me like what the routine was supposed to look like, and I saw her on the chair, and I was like, that's crazy. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. Then I was like, wait, okay, I want to try it though. And when I tried it, I was like, it's actually much easier than you think it is. So I got on the chair, I did it, and I shared with the fans how to do it, and then everyone started trying it, and it was nuts to see a grandma in the backyard on a chair. I was like, okay, this is crazy. But it was so cool, and it's been amazing to just see everyone, rock with me and interact with me and, get into my music and the moments, and it's really fun, honestly, to see that. And then I don't know if you were talking about where I was on the hill. That was actually a Nicki Minaj challenge thing that I did recently too, trying to hold my 10-to-1 rum bottle. What people don't know is Russ actually held my hand before I balanced. I was like, don't leave. And then he was like, you got this. He was like, you don't put out big babies. You don't had a 9-pound, 10-ounce baby. You got this. I was like, okay, all right. And then he released my hand. And I'm like, okay, got it. Get the video now. Like I had to get it now. While I was hanging up in there. But it's always fun. I like having fun. I like tapping in with the people. I like joining in on the challenges. It just makes life fun. So yeah.
And I mean, people tap in because they can relate. They can relate, and they connect it. Like you make the connection. Like there's so much phony stuff going on out here. We have to connect to the real.
Yeah, you do. It's important, I think at the end of the day, no matter how big or successful someone is, or from my perspective, for myself, it's like I'm human. And, for me, it's like, for example, I'm like, listen, I can go all around the world, but I'm still always, going to be a girl from ATL, and ATL is always going to be in me. And there's something to me that's important about my people. It's important to me, like, I love when I have random conversations with strangers that don't know me, because there's some of the best conversations that happen. And it's just, like, real,
Real conversations.
Real conversations. Like, no matter how successful someone is, we all bleed the same color.
We put our pants on the same way.
We go through a lot of the same things.
We do.
Yeah,
It's no different.
Yeah.
Now you say going around the world. You did your a cover shoot in West Africa.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
Well, I did.
in Benin?
So I was very fortunate to be the first international artist to be on the cover of Rolling Stone Africa. I actually shot that shoot in Los Angeles, but I got the great opportunity to go to Cotonou, Benin, or Benin, Cotonou, recently and get my Benin citizenship, which is cool. So I got to tap in a little deeper with my roots. Because I do have a percentage of Benin in me, which is cool. But moments like that, man, is so incredible, to be amongst the people of Africa. Like, I'm obsessed with Africa in general. And I'm obsessed with the people and the culture and the joy and the talent. And it's so much special sauce and energy and, like, magical stuff that comes from that place. So to be able to do that was really special. And it was also amazing to hear the stories of some of the artists and people there, because they talked about sometimes they feel unseen, or for their creative ideas, they feel like it's unseen or it's unheard. They feel unheard sometimes. And so to hear that really touched my heart, and it motivates me to continue to use my platform in any kind of way to shine the light on the beauty and the art and the magic of Africa. So that was really amazing to do that. And pretty cool to be on the cover, to be the first international artist on the cover of Rolling Stone, and to be the first person in the world to get the citizenship in Benin. I'm so, so grateful.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of magic, Lil Baby, Busta Rhymes, Lotto, Tiana Taylor's on a remix.
And Normani.
Who?
Tiana Taylor and Normani is on
And
the
Normani.
Ecstasy remix, yep.
Who else is on the project?
Breezy.
I'm missing some people.
Yeah, Chris Brown.
Breezy or Chris?
Boss Man D-Lo. Diamond Platinums. He's, speaking of Africa, Diamond Platinums from Tanzania, and I just released a deluxe album, and he's on that song, and it's just super, super amazing.
Which song is like your baby on the project?
Oh, Tyga. Shout out to Tyga as well for Dance With Me.
Tyga.
My the baby on the project, that's tough because they're all so good. I'm really vibing with Dance With Me right now featuring Tyga, and I'm also vibing with the Low record featuring Diamond Platinums. I already put the visual out for Dance With Me, and I'm excited about the video with Diamond and I as well. Those two are some of my favorite ones. I love my song called Made It. Made It speaks to, like, my journey and just, like, what life, like, I said, someone asked me, like, what were some of the signs that you've made it? And I said, not having to worry about paying bills. That's definitely a good sign. Seeing fans wrapped around the block like yesterday, that lets me know, like, okay.
Shouts to DBS Sound,
DBS
Riverdale was
Sound.
6604.
Yeah.
Howard 85, Tobago.
Yeah.
You got to give Tobago his shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Tobago. That's amazing. He's been going for 30 plus years, and he has now over 13 locations, he was telling me. And, we need those places where you can touch your fans like that and have the vinyl experience like that. So those moments are really, really special. But yeah.
Now, the very important time is coming up. What's the day in the life of a football Sunday when Russell is playing for Ciara? What's the day like?
Oh, I really kind of get wrapped up in his world. It's really all about whatever's best for him the day of ball, the day on football or game day. Obviously we got to kick it off with a little bit of worship. We make sure to get our worship in. He has to do, like, walkthroughs and stuff. And now that we're in New York, I don't know what that's going to be like, because New York is so wide. Like, before it'd be like a quick drive to go to walkthrough. So now we got to, like, adjust all that
maneuver.
stuff. But yeah, I'm like, I roll with him however he moves, throughout the morning when he's at the house, because I'm just, like, a part of the process in my best way I can be with him. And he does his whole PT work stuff. I'm right there. We do, like I said, we worship. We go all the way to the end before he has to leave out. He gets prepared to go out the door. We do a family prayer. And then he goes on to do his thing, and I guess you would say I kind of have my little game day prep. I like to stay calm as possible. With 4 kids, the house is just not that quiet. But we're getting ready, and then we have our whole process, and I leave kind of early so I can see him, like, throw in the ball before the game and all that stuff. And then we roll up to our seats and we let the game roll.
Now I have a dream. A lot of the male artists in the trap music have been doing these symphony shows. Now we have to get with Falana and tell Miss Williams that Ciara has to be the first female artist in the city of Atlanta, across the street in the Woodruff, to hit that stage with the symphony.
I like that idea.
That would be so crazy for you to be
That'd be
dancing and
amazing.
singing with the symphony.
Yeah, so I actually did something really cool like that in Seattle with the Seattle Symphony. Russ and I did something with our foundation, our Why Not You Foundation, and also Macklemore performed. And we raised a lot of money that night with our partners. And so that was really cool. So I know what that feels like to be with the orchestra. Dancing is different. And so I love that idea. I think it's a brilliant idea, actually. We should make that happen.
I think they're about to do it again with Gucci Man for New Year's Eve.
That's so cool.
They just announced it, I think, last week over the weekend. She sent me the flyer and I posted it. But we have to do one. And then I got another one. I got one more.
Okay, come on. You got good
one more.
ideas.
This is a ghetto public service announcement to the fine and friendly people at Live Nations. We need CICI, TT, and Missy on the world tour. We have to do it.
I like that. That's a pretty big one right there.
Super big.
I don't know what our budgets would probably be crazy. That'd be crazy.
And when you sell tickets out a year in advance and all that money goes into escrow and they only pay a 10% binder and they making all that money in the stock market off that box office money, they can afford to
That'd
do
be
it.
crazy. Oh my gosh. Greg, you got big ideas. I love
Sometimes.
those ladies. Yeah, you always be thinking big. Greg only thinks one way. But I love those girls. I love TT.
Oh,
I'm so proud of her.
Them your girls.
Yeah, that's my sister.
Missy, Tiana,
Yeah.
and CiCi?
Yeah, I love that. Missy, that's big sis. Our tour experience together was so amazing, and I'm so happy we got to do that.
And you got Spike T. You got your movie person.
I know, and it's crazy because all of our minds were so creative. That'd be definitely some creative, that'd be some crazy energy. I like that.
Ciara in the building, the People Station V-103, new album out, stream it, download it. She even has vinyl. Pick up your piece of vinyl. You may bump into her and get it autographed. If you don't get it autographed, it's still something special that you should have in your collection. If you're a CiCi fan, you got to put that in your archive. And people was actually coming up yesterday with the first album.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was real cool.
That's love. That's my day 21s, I call it, because it's 21 years since my first album, Goodies, came out. And to still feel that same love and, from the fans, but also to have the same love and passion for music and, moments like that is a blessing.
Big blessing. Big blessing. CC, we got to have us another Papa Do's dinner. That was 21 years ago.
Oh, my gosh.
21 years ago.
I love that Papa Do's.
It's been 21. It might have been over 21 years.
It could have been.
Because that was like before the album ever came out. It was just a single.
Might have been like 20. Yeah, like 21.
We was actually in Dallas.
That's crazy. Your memory is amazing.
Get him, CC. Thanks for pulling up on the People Station V-103.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always fun seeing you.
Southside, we coming. Mrs. Rice, she says she's going to do it. She's spending more time at ATL, and she coming.
Oh, okay. Yes,
We going.
Greg said it. Greg is making major commitments here. But you know what? I do want to come and see the students of the Dale, for sure.
The Dale.
The Dale. How are they doing with sports now? Do you know?
They're doing pretty good.
Yeah, because we was rocking. So
They're rocking. Football team's doing really well.
That's so good. Yeah, I love it.
A Ciara exclusive here at V-103.
Peace out.